for the session here. Along with me, I'm privileged to also have the NYC team here, and I'll be doing the introductions in quite a bit. Here's a quick overview of the agenda of what we'll be covering today. While we do a quick round of introductions, we'll be talking about the application that has helped us bring in the digital transformation journey at the NYC DEP Bureau of Police and Security. We also have some of quick screens to give you a quick overview of what the solution looks like. And then we'll talk about the larger initiatives and the entire digital vision at NYC DEP. We do have um, we do have the separate question answer session at the end of the meeting today. So kindly park aside your questions for the end, and we'll take them up at the end. Thank you. A quick round of introduction about Acuvate. So first and foremost, I'm Poonam Chuk. I am the AVP at Acuvate for the cloud business, wherein we are helping our customers with their digital transformation initiatives. Acuvate has been in the industry for 15 plus years today, and we are a Microsoft Gold certified partner, and we are a Microsoft only partner. We've been working very closely with a lot of esteemed customers across the globe, some of them Fortune 500 companies, a lot of government agencies as well, and helping them with their migration, modernization, and AI powered solutions for their business. Today, we'll be discussing about the initiative that we have worked closely with the NYC DEP team. And for that, I will request Michael Shum from the NYC team, who is a part of the IT department, to kindly do a quick introduction and also introduce the rest of the team members. Michael?
Great. Thank you, Poonam, and thank you so much for having us. Happy to be here. Great presentations and demos you'll see throughout the team. And just thank you to Acuvate for being a strong partner with us as we are embarking in our digital transformation. About DEP, DEP is the largest combined water and wastewater utility in the United States. We deliver 1 billion gallons of fresh drinking water to 9 million residents in New York City. 90% of the water that gets sent from upstate to New York City is delivered by gravity. It's a unique system that very few public water utilities have. And it's one of the reasons why New York City makes the best bagels and best pizzas. We treat 1.3 billion gallons of wastewater within 14 wastewater treatment plants in New York City and 7 wastewater treatment plants in upstate New York for a total of 21 wastewater treatment plants. We store about 580 billion gallons of water in 19 collection revenues. We have 2 distributing reservoirs, the Catskill Mountains and the Hudson River Valley. We have 19 business units, and you'll see one of them today, the Bureau of Police and Security, again, one of our strong partners in DEP. Our mission is simple: to deliver the highest quality, clean drinking water to over 9 million residents on a daily basis. We have 6,000 employees in DEP. We collect about $4 billion in annual revenue. We manage about 836,000 ratepayers, customers' accounts. And just a fun fact, we have the world's longest continuous tunnel, which is the Delaware Aqueduct. It's about 85 miles. And we also have the world's largest UV plant in the world. Happy to have DEP join the call. Again, I have Deputy Inspector Justin Kites from our Police and Security. And we have Farhan Abdullah, the Director of Production Support, joining us. And we'll be walking to you and demoing some of our solutions that we have worked with Acuvate.
Thank you, Michael. Justin, it's a pleasure to have all of you here, especially Justin and Farhan as well. So Justin, request you to kindly give us an overview of the initiative that we are working with your team.
Yes, good afternoon. Just a little insight. So the Bureau of Police and Security is comprised of the police and security that protects the water system that Mike talked about earlier today. We cover the 5 boroughs in 10 different counties upstate. We've been around for over 100 years. So some of the things we've been doing for the last 100 years has been documenting everything we do with facilities. We cover 200 different facilities. On average, we're 24 hours a day, 300,000 checks on a regular basis a year. And we do that all on a digital or a regular hard copy. And working with Acuvate, we decided to look at options so we could actually do something more digital so we could have an accurate count. Because one of the major things we have is we have the 200 different facilities that we don't have a live caption of that event if it was checked or was not or excuse me, checked during the day. So we would actually have to go through hard copies to see when the last time that facility was checked. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Justin. So, as Justin rightly pointed out, right, it's all about whatever the process that they were following. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, the process that was being followed was very, very labor intensive since there was a whole lot of manual effort going in. So, of course, with this kind of the number of checks that needed to be done, which was 300,000, that's huge in number. So, with that kind of data intensive process being manual, you can only imagine what kind of effort that was going in. And of course, because it is done manually, it is definitely bound to be error prone. The confidence level in the data may not be as high as we would like it to be. And of course, there are a whole lot of surround stories around it, right? So what we did is we worked with the support of Microsoft and the Slate team. We worked closely with NYC DEP, and we proposed automating the entire solution and bringing it on the Microsoft Teams app so that we could reach out to the field agents with ease and help them capture this information and modernize the entire process. So this gives a higher level overview of the way the process looked like with the digital transformation in place. So essentially, with this kind of solution, we were able to bring in a whole lot of business outcomes, right? When we were able to, of course, deliver the business value, bring in a whole lot of savings, particularly in terms of time, where instead of doing manually collecting all the information on paper, the agents could now quickly do it with just clicks of button or just typing in a few information pieces right on their mobile devices. The data integrity was definitely way higher compared to is definitely going to be way higher compared to the manual process, because we are eliminating the handwritten part of it, we are eliminating the errors that come along with it, and because we are capturing the entire information digitally, we also see a whole lot of real-time analytics and insights coming off it, right? And then one of the core outcomes of this is on the sustainability side of things. Because we are working closely with NYC Department of Environment Protection, it is one of their core goals to work towards protecting the environment. So with this initiative, we are looking at saving 80,000 sheets of paper per year, which roughly, if we had to calculate, kind of looks at eliminating about 370 kgs of CO2 in terms of carbon footprint. So those are some of the core highlights. And, of course, other than that, in terms of the ones that cannot be measured, the confidence in the data, easier adoption, easier collaboration, and so on, go without saying because it's on Microsoft Teams platform. So those were some of the things that we wanted to highlight about the solution. Let me give you an overview of what it exactly looked like, right? So this is a quick glimpse of what we are talking about. This is exactly what we achieved, where on a typical workday, when we are looking at a field agent who has a certain set of patrolling route assigned to them, they have to carry those they have a whole lot of paper based forms that they need to fill in, right? First and foremost, even before they start the patrolling activity, they have to fill in the road sheet app, wherein they fill in the details about the zone, the command, etc., that they belong to. And then once they start the patrolling, they would be assigned a route, which would include multiple different inspection zones wherein they would collect all the data. Again, all this is going to be paper based. So with this app that we rolled out on Microsoft Teams, all the field agent had to do was just carry their mobile device with them, which was already with them. And then because the Teams is available on the mobile device, you can see the screen right there. That's how the app was, and that's how easy it was going to be for them to manage this entire process. Let me go ahead and give you a quick overview of what we are looking at in terms of a field agent. So as a field agent, as I was mentioning, there are two stages to the whole thing. One is the road sheet where before patrolling, the agent is expected to fill in certain key pieces of information. And then as part of the patrolling, they will have to key in information on the different inspection areas that they would visit. So here, as part of stage one, the agent will start keying in all the information pieces about the command, the zone, and so on. Also fill in information about the vehicle, equipment, and all that data is getting easily captured right on the application. And then we proceed to stage two, wherein based on the route that got assigned to the agent, they would be visiting different inspection areas. They will have to capture the details for each inspection area and compare it to the manual process, right? Where if I had to fill in a paper-based form, if I have to attach certain evidence to it, then I'll have to look for different means of doing it. If I have to fill in the location of that particular inspection area, I may have to manually enter the address. With this application, we are bringing in a complete modernization to the process also. So that way, all I have to do is, let's say I want to attach certain evidence, all I have to do is just click a picture with the mobile device and attach that along with the form that I'm filling in. Also, for the location, we can leverage the GPS capabilities of the mobile device and just select the current location and add it to the form that we are filling. As part of the daily route, the field agent will have to visit multiple different inspection centers. So while they are going through each of those inspection centers, they will keep repeating the inspection activity forms. They will keep filling in the data in those forms. And once they are done with the entire route assigned to them, they will have the option to go ahead and save the data that was captured for the day. Once that is done, they will navigate back to the home page, and with the option of the historic log button, they will be able to go ahead and view all the historic data for the day that they captured, review it, and then submit it. Similarly, they can even review some of their past data. Now, if we were to take a step back and look at the other people within the system, right? For example, if we are talking about a sergeant who has people reporting to them, they can go ahead and look at data about the people reporting to them as well. So not just my historic data, I can even review the data of the people who are working along with me. So that is what it made it that much more easier when it came to the end user experience. Now, once we move to the other side of the story, when we are talking about such kind of system where we are capturing a whole lot of data, especially for an agency like the police department, we also have to understand the complexities that can arise with the different permutation of combinations of the information that is getting captured, right? How do they manage the commands information, the zone information, and so on and so forth? And there can be so many combinations of the same. So to make the operational part of it easier for the captain or the person or the admin who is managing the application itself, what we've done is we have gone ahead and brought in a very neat and easy to use interface for the admin as well. So here earlier I was showing you some screens on the mobile. Let me also show you how the same application would look on the desktop because we are using Microsoft Teams here. And then once I move on, as you can see right here on the left navigation menu, we have the option wherein the admin will be able to go ahead and configure any of these pieces of information, the command, the zone, the facility, and so on. And we have tried to maintain a uniform kind of interface for each of these management options. So essentially, I'll be able to get a complete view of all the pieces of information that have already been added. In this case, it's the commands. I also have all the operational information right here. I want to add, edit, delete, enable or disable a certain entry, filter through all the data that is already entered, or even search for a particular command. I could do all that right with the top navigation menu bar that is available within the Teams app. So just like the command, I have similar interfaces for the zone, wherein I have a very easy to understand forms-based interface where the admin or the captain can go ahead and add all the information right here. Similarly, for the facility, I have the same interface. One interesting feature I would love to highlight here is we are also bringing in the a field which allows us to which allows us to capture the access until or expiry date, if I may. So essentially, we are bringing in the automation aspect right here. So traditionally, where manually someone may have to manage, whether some zone or command is to be active or has to be disabled after a certain period of time. Instead of that, we are automating that process as well. We can go ahead and automatically disable the command for once the expiration date has been reached. Moving on, now that we have helped the admin capture all the backend information, it'll be that much more easier to manage the users as well. And because it's on Microsoft Teams, a part of the Office 365 environment, we are able to pick in the users right from the Active Directory itself. So I can easily navigate, pick the users and assign the role, assign them to a command, a zone, and so on. Similarly, we are also managing all the different kind of activities that could be assigned to the different field agents. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, the advantage of a system like this, where we are moving from a completely manual process to an automated process, is we are getting that much more confidence in the data that we are collecting. And it also allows us to get a quick overview of the information that is getting collected. So look at it this way. While I'm in the office as a captain or a sergeant, I will be able to go and view the dashboard and get a complete overview and understand what exactly is happening on the field. We have leveraged all the wonderful features that come powered with Power BI. Thus, I can go ahead and get a complete insight of everything that is happening across commands on for in a particular precinct and so on, and do complete analysis and plan better for the future. So those were some of the key highlights that I wanted to showcase as part of this session. Because of confidentiality issues, we could not run the live demo in the session. Thus, we had to make do with the screens. But I hope I was able to I was able to give a complete perspective of the application that we have delivered for the NYC Police Department. With that, I would like to take a quick pause and request Farhan Abdullah from the NYC team, who would and request him to talk about how the Slate program and Microsoft Teams has helped him with the digital initiatives at NYC DEP. Farhan?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Poonam. And it's a pleasure having your team part of our digital transformation journey. I love the idea of um, the user experience is the most important thing here, right? What we are doing with Teams, we are surfacing this business application um, integrated with Microsoft Teams. So our end users are no longer tethered to their offices or a particular device or location, right? So they will use Teams as we use for primary collaboration mechanism for the agency. Now they have access to their business application, right? So and this is not the first time we have done it with integrating application with Teams, as we have worked with you with implementing or introducing the chatbots for the agency for internal customers that radically yeah, improved our user experience and engagement and drove a lot of operational efficiencies. And initially, we had the application, the channels that we used as a mobile app or Microsoft SharePoint, things like that. But as soon as we brought that application integrated within Teams, we saw our engagement rate for our end user increase by tenfold, and our adoption rate for the application is skyrocketed. So when we're presented with opportunities like this, hey, we have this business case, and the path that we'll take, it was a no-brainer for us, as we have been a we have long-standing partnership with Microsoft. We use Office 365, we use Microsoft Azure, and the overall Microsoft technology stack to empower our employees, right? And this was a no-brainer for us to use Microsoft Teams and other Microsoft technologies to improve employee experience, and that leads to data experience, and eventually, and we better serve the citizens, as Michael Shum talked about the complexity that goes in delivering the clean drinking water to City of New York. So for us to capture this data and information digitally, as opposed to somebody with a piece of paper writing down the information and coming into the back offices and capturing into Microsoft Excel. So we see that that digital transformation not only improving employee experience, we're making sure data integrity there, right? Better reporting for internal organizations, and which will lead to a better citizen experience.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Farhan. And yes, you're absolutely right. So, especially at NYCDEP and also with the other customers that Acuvate has been working, across the globe, what we are seeing is Microsoft Teams has been empowering a whole lot of digital transformation opportunities and accelerating the digital transformation initiatives for customers. So, it has been the same experience for us with other customers as well, where we are seeing the power of Teams taking the whole digital transformation to the next level. So thanks a lot, Farhan and Justin and Michael, for your inputs. And a special mention before I could open up for question and answers. A very special mention to the digital champions, digital transformation champions, both Justin and Farhan. Especially Justin, thanks to you for your vision and this great initiative that you have taken up with the police department, and you have been the champion, and you have not just worked with us very closely, explaining the pain points, but also you've helped us propagate it further with your team and taking it to the whole new level. And Farhan, not just with this initiative, with all the other initiatives at NYC, you have been very supportive, and I think you drive a whole lot of digital transformation initiatives for the entire agency. So it's always an absolute pleasure to work with you and the entire team at NYC. And of course, we cannot move on to the Q&A without a special thanks to the entire Slate team at Microsoft, especially Mornay and Avdesh. Their constant ongoing support and the way the Slate program is designed itself, the templates that are designed, the way everything has been documented, the kind of ongoing knowledge sharing sessions that the team makes sure so that partners like us can take advantage of it and help customers, empower customers to achieve their digital transformation goals. It's really an amazing initiative by Microsoft. So a very special thanks to Morne, Avdesh, and the entire Slate team as well. Um, with that, we will open it up for questions. So yeah, Morne, if there are any questions for us.
Yeah, so put on a quick question. Can you just briefly walk this audience through the process, right? How did we get from engaging the team, right, and listening to their problems, envisioning the solution? Can you just kind of briefly walk this audience through the process?
Yeah. Sure, Morne. So as I was mentioning earlier, the way the Slate program is designed and defined itself is very, very methodical in nature. So there are a whole lot of in a larger perspective, there are three different broader stages to the way we work in terms of Slate, and also, generally in terms of achieving the digital transformation. For this particular engagement, first we engage with the customer, wherein we, as I was mentioning earlier, so Justin has been the champion there. We had a complete discovery session with Justin and the business team, where we understood what exactly what the process was. And as you saw, as part of one of the workflow diagrams also, we kind of documented the entire thing to make sure that what we had captured with those sessions, it was in line with what Justin and the team were facing on the field. And then we went ahead and proposed what could be that modernized solution on the Microsoft Teams application, because that's the app that is readily available across. It is device agnostic, right? It becomes that much more easier for the field agents to interact with an app like that. So with that, we then moved on to a complete envisioning stage, wherein we not only went to the next level of details in what that process should look like, but also went ahead and designed all the screens of the process, came up with mock-up screens, and gave a complete look and feel overview to Justin and the entire business team, so that even before we could go ahead and build the application, the team was able to visualize and see what the entire process flow would look like. And it was that much more easier to get their suggestions and feedback as well. So once this round of iterations went back and forth, and of course, during all these stages, Microsoft team, the Slate program team has been there to help and support us, wherein they have been adding in their suggestions in terms of the guidelines, the branding that needs to be followed for the Microsoft Teams app. So once all that was frozen and finalized, that's when we actually went ahead for the build and deploy phase, where now we are actually building and rolling out the solution for the customers. So it has been an amazing journey with Microsoft support, where we are learning, where we are working with Microsoft, and with the kind of templates that are available as part of the Slate program, it has been that much more easier to take the business discussions with the NYC team as well.
Hey, Punam, thank you so much for sharing that insight. Just one further question then for you. Like, how long does it take to build and develop and deploy an application like this?
Sure. So typically the build and the entire the discovery and the envisioning, etc., typically takes about a week or so. So that's how quickly we are able to, once we have got the insights from the business in terms of what their pain point is, with the templates that we have in place and the kind of expertise that Acuvate also brings in, we are able to do the entire envisioning and show them some mock-ups and all that within the first week of the engagement. And from there on, we are able to build and deploy an app like this that we just showed you some of the screens within a matter of 4 to 6 weeks. So that's the total duration that it would take, Morne.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for answering those questions. So then just in closing, just really thank you, Acuvate, for sharing with our audience today on the solution you developed for the NYC DEP-PD. And also thank you to our wonderful customer who joined the call today. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Farhan, for your participation. Really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you, Morne. Thank you, Farhan, Justin, and Michael for your time. And thanks to the NYC, the entire team at Microsoft Slate and NYC for the ongoing support. We hope to take this to the whole next level and bring the digital transformation, take it one step at a time, and make it a success throughout the entire agency. So thanks a lot for the ongoing support, team.
Awesome. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just hold a few seconds while the stream catches up. All right, thank you, team. That was really amazing. Thank you for the participation. Thank you to all the folk from NYC DEP-PD that joined us 30 minutes early as we performed the mic check. Really appreciate the kind words of support on the call. Poonam, just the content was once again just the quality, the bar is just so high. So really thank you for the time spent on that there. We're going to go away now and we'll stop the recording right away, and then we're actually going to process the recording, and then we'll make this available to you and to the customers that registered for the session. Michael and Justin and team, if you want to grab some snippets from today's session, give us 2 or 3 days, and then you'll have that recording. But sincere appreciation for the time given to us today, and thank you for presenting. All the best and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.